Yes, I think it was.
Is the show?
Yeah.
He said, "Is the show over at the end?" And it is over. That's funny.
It is.
All right, we are
Suicide
live.
time.
We are live. We just witnessed Road to Friendship. What'd you guys
Is that
think?
what it's called? Cool.
Yeah.
Road to Poland.
By the way, I
It
saw
was
a name
something.
in the credits. Hufar? Is that who the horse dude was?
Oh, was it? Yeah, I didn't catch that.
Hufar? I don't know.
I just call him the
That's what I'm
horse.
guessing his name is.
He's just the horse.
Horse.
The horse.
Horse dude. Even though his
How
horn.
Hufar? It's like Jafar, but with a hoof.
Jafar.
That's pretty low tier. That's honestly
Low
really uncreative.
So
You
where
know
do
what-
I have a few things I want to go over. First of all, I guess we'll start with the horse guy, Hufar, or whatever you want, whatever his name is.
Why was he everywhere?
Why was he everywhere?
Yeah.
What was his story? What was the? Why was he so insistent that they become friends again? Like what? Why? Who is he?
Even he was talking about convenient appearances, like, "Oh,
Yeah.
it's so convenient. Our friend showed up."
Yeah.
He kind of that was a little self-referential there, making fun of the
Little
script.
Really.
Heck
Maybe
yeah.
he's like this super fan of Trixie.
But yeah, I guess
He's
they
just-
kind of
he's
imply
just
that.
be-
but-
He's just.
But why
just
would he want the
better at
wagon in the
hiding
first
how
place? It
creepy
doesn't
he
make
is.
sense.
yeah, it's
Even
really
he was like, "Oh, this isn't ready for Saddle Arabia, where I come from."
yeah. We kind of
Saddle Arabia.
speculate like he's a big fan and wants to collect Trixie's stuff or
Right.
something, but they don't really say that, do they?
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
I don't remember
That's
I
that.
really
could
the
only
only
guess
thing I'm-
that it was implied.
That's really the
but-
only thing I'm hung up on is that he just felt kind of weird and out of nowhere. But other than that, yeah,
Yeah.
I like the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
I
I-
liked it.
Can't think
What
of
I
any.
like,
off the top of my
I'll
head.
say what I'm supposed to say right now. I like the idea of Road to Friendship. This reminded me of Stewie and Brian when they did Road to Poland. Starlight and Trixie match perfectly when it comes to like a musical like this. That was incredible. Love
That's
the
a little
episode.
cheesy, but I guess that was the point.
Yeah, the musical's lyrics kind of just.
It
seem like
reminded
they're-
me a lot of what was the episode with Rumble? Where he
Oh.
was like, "Oh, you don't need your cutie mark."
Was that
I don't know. It was
something?
it was
Marks
the
and
one
Rec?
where he wants.
Marks and
Yeah.
Rec? But what was the
Yeah,
name of the
Marks and
song? I'm trying to
Recreation. I
think.
think.
Mm.
I don't know. I think it's called Blank Flanks Forever.
Blank Flanks
yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
That's it.
Blank
That's
Flanks
right.
Forever.
Why does it
Yeah.
remind you of
Like
that?
even in some situations, some of the keys were like,
Huh.
it felt like they were directly ripped.
I don't know. It
been.
reminded me more of Apples to the
Blank
Core a
Flanks
little bit.
Naponi to tell you who you have.
I think I said this last week, but I love how we can compare like things to like the
episodes to
show. It's
other
like, oh, this
episodes.
reminds me of
Yeah.
this, and this reminds me of this. It's like
Yeah.
that's all of our source material. We don't need any other media, no other cultural
Mhm.
inspiration.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I guess while on that note, you guys like this song, I suppose?
Yes, I,
mean,
loved
It
it.
was decent.
think
I
it-
didn't really
like,
enjoy
for-
it that much.
for-
It's like, oh, this is the
It
best song
wasn't a
ever.
particular standout, but
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I was. It doesn't
yeah.
really stand out at all.
Yeah, I thought it was nice and catchy. Just the lyrics kind of felt like they're made up as they go along, but I guess that makes sense if they were actually singing.
They're
I
on a
don't know.
road trip, so yeah,
Yeah.
you just make up anything.
That was the
Yeah,
worst
this
friendship
episode-
song I have ever heard.
this episode
Clearly
is
making it up as they went along.
being made up as it went along. Do you think the writer made it up as he
Well,
went along?
I don't know. They were just kind of as observational, right? They were just rhyming
they
about whatever's in
was,
front of them, kind of.
And MLP isn't new to improvised scenes either. I mean, with Spike singing the what was it, the Wonderbolt anthem or
Oh
something?
no.
No,
Cloudsdale.
No, I don't think it was literally improvised. Just I don't know.
No, it was. Kathy was
No. This episode song. I mean.
Oh no! I'm saying I wish it was improvised.
Well, maybe their friendship song at the end was. I kind of doubt it, but that would have been cool.
Yeah.
I have my
So
doubts.
I have to point out, I'm to the point in the screenshots where they say something, I don't remember word for word, but something along the lines of, for endless seasons we'll be friends. For 9 at
or
least.
9 at least.
Nine at
Nine
least.
So is that the first
Yeah.
major...
Evil.
That's like the first major wall break, isn't it? For a fourth wall break?
Yeah.
Like for the show
Yeah.
itself. Not talking to the audience, but referring to the show that they're in. That's like, have they ever done that?
And by something
Yeah,
other than
that's-
Pinky as well.
Yeah, but seriously though, that's a major kick in the crotch region.
I got a perfect
Yeah.
screenshot for their faces right here. It's like, what did we say?
What did the script just say?
They're surprised too. So is that our confirmation, guys? It's no longer a leak. It's official. 9 seasons.
Yeah.
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 Rip. Rip my pony. It's
Totally.
dead.
Or it's a super convenient choice of wording that they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, I would say 9 seasons.
9.
Yeah.
No, it has
Mhm.
nothing to do with
9
anything else.
seasons.
Does it? It has to be that.
Yeah. Or they're
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
have their own
but-
spin-off series. The show's gonna go on for 20 seasons. They're gonna have their own spin-off that goes on for that.
Oh yeah, just these two in a spin-off. I'd like that.
It's just
I'd
a
actually
reference to
like that. I would so watch that.
So I guess the
What would
whole
it be
premise
called?
here, the whole premise is that they're going to Saddle Arabia. It is Saddle Arabia, right?
Yeah.
They're going
Yeah.
there to perform their
Yeah.
show, and they fight along the way, and that affects their show. Pretty straightforward premise. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
No room at the inn.
No room at the Pony Jesus is canon.
But that, then it comes
wish they'd
back.
done that.
Then it comes back to, I guess you said his name is Hufar. I don't know his name.
Yeah, who
It
far?
comes back to
Hufar.
him offering them his carriage again to sleep, and they refuse again. It's like I like Trixie's refusal because she's attached to her carriage. I think that's nice. But
Yes,
I
it
still don't
is
know what
Hufar,
his
by the way.
story is. Why is he so interested in helping them? He doesn't know them,
Exactly. That's one of my big problems with this.
really. I mean, I guess he does know them. He likes their show, but I don't know. I feel like that could have been emphasized more somehow. Maybe if he was like a big wanted he had a poster of them or wanted their autograph or some little gesture like that would have sold it to me. But other than that, I don't know.
I don't
They-
think it's
they could-
I don't
they
think
could
it's
have
too
made him
major
a
to really
bit
make any
more
major con
clear.
though.
Well, actually, I think it might kind of be because the whole episode hinges on him. He's kind of a main character in this episode. It's all about trading the carriage with him. It's all about him. He kind of resolves their friendship in the end. He gets them to talk to one another and all that. So it kind of does all hinge on him. And I don't know. That's why I keep talking about him. Again, it's not a huge complaint. I like the episode as the whole. It's just something I thought that was worth mentioning.
Hmm. I think
Yeah,
one of
I
the
would
bigger things
definitely
that I
say-
enjoyed. Go
I-
on.
I would definitely say that because of his significance in the episode, that it does matter how he is used and portrayed.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been bad. It didn't like negatively affect my enjoyment of the episode. It's just kind of random,
Yeah.
It was an opportunity to make things better, so
Mhm.
it just didn't expand on that
So,
opportunity.
all right, moving on. How do we feel about Starlight and Trixie's fight?
It was-
Fight.
Like,
It was relatable. to
yeah,
me.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it kind
I
of
think
peaks
it
during
was.
the sleep, and of course, sleep is when everyone's like their moodiest, and that makes sense. And
Yeah,
they're
they're-
snoring. and
Don't get
talking.
enough of their
Yeah.
beauty sleep, and
Yeah.
they're just like, ugh.
It felt natural,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the most important part.
I
Yeah.
thought at the beginning when they were fighting over the food and stuff, I felt a little bit I don't have screenshots of that, but that felt a little bit forced, like they were being a little bit cruel to one another. And I kind of just wrote that off as, that's just their personality. It's Trixie and Starlight. They're supposed to be like that. And then, of course,
Yeah,
once they
that's
get
the
into the
relation.
sleeping arrangements, it all makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I want to see Starlight dressed as a bandit now that I've seen the bandana. Oh man, I think one of the big things that I enjoyed, not really, just something I noticed that was like, oh, that's kind of neat, was all the location callbacks I did on
Yeah.
the journey to Saddle Arabia, because we
Poland.
had the swamp, the fire swamp with the chimera in it
Yep.
from that one
Oh
episode with
yeah.
Apple Bloom.
Mm.
I guess it might have been Everfree Forest with the swamp. I don't know.
I thought what was really cool about that is on their way there, they were singing through those dangerous locations. I mean, this is the point. I'm not observing
Yeah.
something fresh and new, but they're traveling through these dangerous locations, having fun with it as friends. But then when
That's-
Starlight tries to go back alone, it's suddenly
It's more dangerous.
Yeah, and I
It's
thought
more
that was-
dangerous.
See,
that was a
I
nice
was
thing.
worried things were gonna just resolve like, oh, I feel bad now. But
And
at
she
least
was
in
like,
this
"Huh?"
case, it gave her a reason to want to get back with Trixie. 'Cause
Well,
it's
she
like,
had
oh,
to.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
But
Oh, and here, I love
The
this
reason
scene's
doesn't
evil
matter.
laugh.
Green shot.
So,
Oh, all right.
but speaking
Uh,
of the resolving, I felt like they argue and then they just stop arguing and they're friends again. I felt like maybe the resolution could have had some kind of point. I don't know. Something that actually brought them together. I guess it was kind of just circumstance that she happens to come back and Trixie happened to be laying on the ground there. And
Your convenient
Yeah.
friend showed up.
yeah,
Yeah.
even Hufar, he says, "Oh, it's very convenient that your friend just showed up." Like that doesn't make it any less convenient. That's still that doesn't give you a free pass, writers.
Yeah.
All right, so all right, we are
And then-
running. I'm kind of running over time. Any last remarks?
Again,
Starlight mentioned her village when
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was,
Yeah.
when they were asleep. It's like nice little callback to that.
Yeah, I think there were a few little callbacks like that.
yes.
All right, let's jump into individual ratings reviews.
Okay,
Shy, you wanna start us off?
Please go along with
Yes.
ratings.
So 2-minute ratings, by the way.
Okay, so I really liked this episode. It had much meaning to it. You know, Starlight and Trixie. I don't know if I've seen any other episode, good episodes of Starlight and Trixie, but this one has to be number one. As I said, this reminded me of Family Guy's Road to Poland. You know, with Stewie and Brian. You know, having that bond of friendship. This is totally relatable to Starlight and Trixie. This is like a perfect image. Josh Haber is still one of my favorite writers, and he's very good at making these, you know, kind of quirky things, but it's also fun in the same way. I like it, and I love the song. It is beautiful, and I'm probably going to listen to it again. It is so amazing. Everything about this episode was perfect, even from Sal Arabia to Trixie, you know, protecting her caravan, so to speak. So I'm gonna give this episode a 8 out of 10. It was really good.
All right, cool. 8 from Drummer Shy. Who's next? Oh, Jessica. So this is Jessica's first time in the review. We thought we'd bring in a special guest.
Hello.
Hello, Jessica. What did you think of the episode?
I would say, like, as a whole episode, I was actually really looking forward to this episode because Starlight and Trixie is one of my favorite ships in My Little Pony. So seeing these two have their own episode is just so enjoyable. Also, I love that they brought back the sunshine butterflies away, and I love that. And yeah, just seeing this entire episode just so really enjoyable. I love the dynamic these two have together, even if they go through an argument, which is something I never expected to see. But I'm actually glad I did because it kind of reminds me of me and my friend. We are really close, and yeah, we have fights because there are things that make us hate each other, but we're still friends. But yeah, I really did love this episode. I wouldn't say this is my favorite episode out of season 8 so far, but it is really, really enjoyable. I loved the characters. I loved Starlight and Trixie. I loved the song. I just loved all of it. So yeah, I would give this episode an 8 out of 10.
Oh, cool. Another 8. All right, I'm next in the list, but I'm going to wrap things up. So, Magma Master, what did you think?
All right, I enjoyed this episode. I originally always had a huge problem with Trixie because she's always been pretty stupid, and especially in All Bottled Up, that's a good example of her just being an idiot, and that was kind of the episode that made me not like seeing her that much. But on this episode, she felt a lot more natural and less like an idiot for the sake of a plot device. So, so she felt a lot more natural and actually like a person. And her dynamic with Starlight works. Shut up. You're cutting off my time.
Go for it, man. Go.
And Trixie and Starlight have, ever since they got together, they had a pretty interesting dynamic, and it worked out. I would get more into this, but I don't have the time. I'm not the biggest fan of the way how Starlight just traded the wagons without Trixie allowing it, but overall, it didn't bring the episode down too much, and since I don't have enough time, I'm just gonna say my rating right now. I'm giving it a 7.5.
All right, 7.5. You still had half a minute, by the way, but a 7.5 from Magma. All right,
I can't handle time pressure.
That's all right.
Mr. can have my half minute.
Okay, Mister, what did you think?
Okay, all right, all right. So I think this was really, really good episode. Now, I wouldn't really consider it perfect for, you know, little nuances like what was mentioned, what with Hufar being kind of convenient, the resolution. While it was nice, it was like she just kind of showed up and that's how things worked out. But I don't feel like I had any major cons to consider, so that's definitely a big plus for the episode. The relationship between Starlight and Trixie, fantastic. I love it. I forget how long it's been since we've seen an episode that was simply focused on them, but it's good to see another one of them. The location callbacks, like I mentioned earlier, what with the fire swamp, the chimera, And then there was the canyon from that. What is it? May the best pest.
Ghastly
yeah,
Gorge?
May the best,
Yeah. Ghastly
Yeah.
Gorge.
whatever the gorge is called. Yeah, it was good to see that again. So that was just a little bit of continuity that I enjoyed, and just the fact that she was actually expressing her anger, unlike all bottled up. So that kind of shows more continuity and like, okay, this is her character. She's developing on this, and this is what the relationship is like now. So yeah, between little pros like that and no major cons, I'd say it's about a 9 out of 10. Not perfect, but really good.
All right, 9 out of 10 from Mister. Next on the list is Sonic. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is like a new episode that I've seen recently that it's not like where I'm hating on it too much, you know, because some of the previous episodes I've seen, I did not enjoy it at all. But yeah, with Starlight and Trixie, yeah, they were a good duo. Song portion, yeah, I guess it's whenever there's a road trip, I guess there's always a song that gotta go and My only big complaint with this whole episode is Hufar. He was just like confusing. Like he's just like back there. He's just like there's like they gave him like no reason of why he like wanted the wagon for any reason. Decides just to trade it so that we would have this like Starlight trade to stay and Trixie would be arguing and stuff. I'm not sure about the ending because I felt like it could have been a little bit better. Like when they were trying to trade back with like the cartridge, like they just tried to do this little chant thing, which I'm guessing they were trying to copy Cadence and Twilight's little chant thing, I'm guessing, or something like that. And then like even though they didn't try as much, the guy was like, okay, I'll just give it back. I don't know. That part right there, I just wasn't on par with that. But other than that, no little complaints at all. I did enjoy it. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
All right, 7 out of 10 from Sonic. Sorry, so I'm distracted. I've been keeping notes, trying to prepare my own thing. So yeah, I guess I suppose it's my turn. I'll wrap things up. I like this episode as a whole. I like Starlight and Trixie. They're both hilarious. I love their kind of arrogant nature. You know, Trixie being the great and powerful showman or show pony, and then Starlight, of course, being an evil dictator. I love that dynamic. So, again, I mentioned earlier, I felt that Hufar was kind of random, and the episode does hinge on him. You know, the trade, the resolution, the setup, everything hinges on this Hufar character, and he kind of comes out of nowhere and doesn't really have any character. I don't know. Again, it's kind of. I know people are probably annoyed. People who like this episode feel annoyed that we're focusing so much on that, but it really does, you know, that's probably the biggest complaint here. Regardless, a lot of good stuff here, a lot of continuity and stuff, for example. I like how the episode starts off with the show and ends with a show, and it has a show in the middle that goes poorly, and, you know, it just kind of flows together in a nice way. Usually, I think my criticism of Season 8's been the flow has been not so good, but this episode, it has a couple hiccups here with the narrative with Hufar, for example, but the flow of the episode is so much better. How their trip there is pleasant and happy and songful, and Starlight's trip back is horrible and scary all alone. You know, I like that little detail. And I'm running out of time as well. Wow. All right. So you know, little things like Cadence and Twilight doing their dance felt random and out of place. Like why are they in this episode? Why is Flurry Heart here? But then at the end, we see that they make up their own little dance. So then all of a sudden, it makes sense why we saw Cadence and Twilight. So that kind of backwards thinking narrative, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that, forcing something in the beginning to make it make more sense later on. I guess that's Chekhov's gun. I should have seen that coming. But yeah, I mean, on the whole, again, a lot of little remarks, like for 9 seasons at least, stuff like that's funny. Starlight's snoring, Trixie's talking in her sleep. All those little details are wonderful and hilarious. I liked it as a whole. I'm a little torn on what to rate it, to be honest. I think for now, this could change over time, but for now, my rating is going to be a 7.5.
Okay, fair.
All right,
Seems
let's
fair.
calculate our average for this.
Seems fair.
Bum 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 bum.
All right, the average
No,
Little Shy
no,
live
no,
stream rating. Little Shy live stream reviews Road to Friendship is a 7.8, and we're gonna round that up to an 8. Actually, we always round up to the nearest, I think. So,
Okay.
so an 8 out of 10 for this episode. Not bad.
Nice.
All right, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Hope to see you next week. We do these little silly reviews every week, and yeah, thanks again for stopping by. See you next time.
Bye.